Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank where I climb the online Series 7 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we're trying out a really cool team that 2014 World Champion Sejun Park recently built, featuring Gigantamax Centiskorch. Sejun is actually my favorite team builder of all time, and he is one of the best players in the history of this game, and he always comes up with really interesting teams. That's, obviously the team that he won 2014 Worlds with Pachirisu is his most iconic one, but he is definitely one of the most innovative players in the history of the game, and he's always constantly pushing the metagame forward with some of his ideas. So this one is Gigantamax Centiskorch. He was I think top 20 or top 30 on the ladder with this team, so check him out. He's linked on Twitter and Twitch in the description below. And yeah, this team is really interesting. It features Gigantamax Centiskorch, which is actually a really cool meta call right now because so many teams have bulky stuff, especially with Glastrier, and Centiskorch actually matches up pretty well into those kind of team compositions. It also can trap people in with the Gigantamax effect, which is basically Fire Spin. So you can use that to your advantage, and then Togekiss and Gastrodon have Yawn. Those are two Pokemon we saw a lot of in Series 5 and beforehand, but they've kind of fallen out of the format due to the rise of a lot of Pokemon that counter them. That being said, they kind of synergize nicely with Centiskorch, and Yawn is a move that can just often win you a game, especially if you Yawn something like Dynamaxes on the first turn. And so it works out even better with Centiskorch because Centiskorch does not allow your opponent to switch out once you get the trap on, and then so you can Yawn and they're guaranteed to fall asleep on the subsequent turn. To round out the team, you've got some fun stuff as well, including offensive Pheromosa. Now, most Pheromosas I've seen nowadays run coaching and speed swap, so this one is just kind of like what you saw back in 2017 with just triple offense and protect. You have Focus Sash, that's by far the most consistent item on it, and as a result, the Life Orb instead is going to be on the Mamoswine. Life Orb actually allows you to one-shot Landorus, T, and Incineroar with Ice Shard and High Horsepower respectively, which is kind of neat. And then to round out the team, you've got Grassy Seed Rillaboom with Acrobatics. The Acrobatics is really cool because it helps you in the matchup against opposing Rillabooms as well as other Grass-type Pokemon like Amoonguss. So, really fun team here. Once again, huge thank you to Sejun for creating it. Check him out, linked in the description below. And I hope you guys enjoy. It's definitely a fun team, and I'm looking forward to playing a couple more games with it, or a couple of games with it. So thanks as always for watching Road to Rank. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like, and let's get started with today's episode. Question of the day: I want to know what your favorite legendary Pokemon is in the comment section below. I think, having played a couple of games with this team, Centiskorch is both really good, but can limit you depending on the matchup. So it is pretty matchup-based. You're not going to bring it to all of your games. So for example, Centiskorch really doesn't like going up against Flying-type Pokemon, right? Flying-type Pokemon can just max Airstream. Flying-type attacks in general are really big counters to Centiskorch. Rock-type attacks are obviously going to hurt as well, but you do have the Charty Berry. So Centiskorch obviously has 3 weaknesses in Flying, Rock, and Water. The Gastrodon covers the Water weakness a fair amount, which is pretty good. It's really Flying and Rock which are going to be a problem. We're actually up against Alex for the first game of the day. This should be fun. If you don't know who Alex is, you should definitely check him out. One of my close friends and one of the best players in the world for quite a while now. And yeah, I saw that he was streaming. He created a Terrakion Dragapult team, which is kind of neat. So, how do we beat Terrakion plus Dragapult? That might be a problem. They also have Zapdos, which is also a problem for Centiskorch. Could be Togekiss Mamoswine lead, honestly, because I can redirect the Follow Me. I think this is probably a Dynamax Mamoswine game, to be honest. I love Centiskorch, but this is not the matchup for it. I was just talking about how Rock and Electric-type Pokemon are a problem for it, and Alex has both here, which is very not ideal. I guess Togekiss plus Pheromosa is kind of interesting, because I could just close combat. That's not bad either. I think I'm down for Togekiss Mamoswine, Pheromosa, Rillaboom. I don't like Gastrodon that much, and I think this is one of the worst possible matchups for Centiskorch. He also has a Dragapult, right? So we obviously can't do very much damage into that. So this should be a fun one. Like I said, Alex, good friend of mine, and has really been one of the best players in the world for, pretty much a decade now. He has qualified for every World since 2011, top 8 at Worlds in 2019, as well as 2014 and 13. And yeah, just really has been one of the most consistent players in the world for a while now. So always a blast to play against him. We actually built our 2014 World Championship team together, which was really fun. So we practiced a lot that year. Whimsicott plus Heatran. I'm worried about Fake Tears Whimsicott or Helping Hand like Steel Spike. Actually, I don't think you Steel Spike here because I have Mamoswine. Sorry, I don't think you Dynamax. It's a possibility. I'd love to yawn here if possible. Oh, this is so tricky. I mean, I could max Hailstorm turn 1. It could be like Helping Hand Heat Wave. I like the yawn option, honestly. And I think we probably should Dynamax Mamoswine. I mean, I'm going for Yawn Hailstorm, but that doesn't really feel work to me. I just like... Okay, yeah, Heatran doesn't max. I mean, if Heatran protects here, that'd be okay, because I get a free knockout onto Whimsicott and I can follow me next turn. I obviously could have gone Max Quake onto Heatran, but I was expecting Shukaberry here. Maybe that's still the better play, though, to be honest. I could also just see, like, Helping Hand Heat Wave, Fake Tears, Flash Cannon. Those are all options right now. Oh, Heatran's just slower, actually. Okay. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. I feel like normally when I see Heatran, I'm using slower stuff against it. So that's interesting. I mean, that indicates he definitely has Shukaberry, right? So I'm expecting my Togekiss to go down, but if I actually get this Yawn off, it'd be huge. Question is whether or not, like, Tailwind Steel Spike one-shots Togekiss. Maybe it's just Flare here, actually. Yeah, it's Steel Spike. Steel Spike's the most consistent option. Ooh, but it goes into Mamoswine. Almost one-shots us, though, which isn't good. The Mamoswine target there is really smart, by the way, because normally in this position, Togekiss is going to want to protect, so you just cover for the option of protecting. Follow me is normally what you'd expect here. This is where Yawn maybe pays off huge for us, but let's see. The problem is I'm fighting against Tailwind as well, right? So that's obviously not very good for us. Now, I can double protect next turn. Heatran will fall asleep, but I don't have that much offense in the back, which is kind of scary. But, like, I definitely couldn't have played towards Centiskorch in this game, so, yeah. I mean, I could have Max Quake Heatran, like I said, but Shuka is obviously a problem. Maybe it's still better to go for the knockout there. Or, sorry, just Max Quake into Heatran anyway, though. This next turn, the double protect is super obvious, so I think Heatran probably goes Steel Spike into the Togekiss. Or maybe you bring out Zapdos, you can just T-Bolt Zapdos. Or Terrakion, yeah, that works too. Okay. Well, getting the Yawn off was really good, obviously. Question is whether or not I even want to double protect here, because to be honest, I think it's better to sacrifice Mamoswine here. Reason being is because then I get a free switch into Rillaboom, to which I can just fake out Gleam or fake out Yawn into Terrakion. I just think I'm probably gambling with sleep turns a little bit in this game. I could also just hard switch Mamoswine out, actually, I suppose. I didn't think about that. I actually like that option because I like the idea of conserving Mamoswine for a high horsepower against Heatran in the endgame. So, protect Togekiss here and hard switch into Rillaboom. This is like a slightly risky, but I think here you maybe predict the Mamoswine to protect. I mean if he goes like Max Flare into the Mamoswine slot, this is obviously really bad. Like I could have gone safely for the double protect, but I feel like if I'm in this position, I would just Rock Slide Steel Spike into Togekiss. So let's see. Seed obviously helps against Terrakion here, which is nice. But I still have no damage output against Heatran, which is scary, so I'm kind of trying to stall out Tailwind. Okay, so there's Rock Slide, that's expected. I don't know, I think Steel Spike into Togekiss is just so safe, right? But if you're expecting a switch here, you really could cover it. Oh, nice play. Oh wait, no, okay. It was just Steel Spike into Togekiss, yeah. For a second, I like forgot that I wasn't max with Togekiss. I was expecting like my to take a for the animation to not even go off in the first place. Okay. So that's obviously good. I think here you probably protect Terrakion this next turn. I mean, protect makes the most sense by far. I have seen Scarf Heatran like very occasionally. Question is whether or not I gamble with Grassy Glide. You can just Rock Slide here. I have Mamoswine in the back. The goal is to stall out Tailwind, and then I have Pheromosa in the back, which is actually looking very good once Tailwind ends. So the goal is to, yeah, let Tailwind expire. I guess the defense boosts are a major problem, though. right? Because I don't really have special... Well, I had Gastrodon. Ooh, Gastrodon could have been a good bring, but I feel like that means he needs Rillaboom in the back, right? I could risk a switch here. I just think the Heatran definitely protects here, but... Ugh. Yeah, this doesn't feel great, because I think Heatran's always protecting this. Or sorry, Terrakion's always protecting here. Yeah. But what's my better play there? I could switch Togekiss out into Pheromosa? Oh, maybe that is the play. Because then I can just close combat Glide into Terrakion. Yeah, I mean, we knew that Protect was coming. I just couldn't... I didn't want to switch the Mamoswine back out immediately, and if Terrakion doesn't Protect there, it's really bad for us. He should survive the Glide now because of the defense boost. I think it really might come down to how quickly the Heatran wakes up. Because Heatran is really good against the team that we brought here. Gastrodon would have helped. But the scary thing about Gastrodon is it's hard countered by Rillaboom, which I suspect will be his last one. So, I do think this might come down to sleep turns in the end, which is okay. I mean, it's a tough matchup. I do wish I switched out now, though. I don't know. Pheromosa switching in there would have been really cool. Because then I could have doubled up onto the Terrakion slot. The only problem is if Heatran wakes up there, I think we kind of insta-lose. Which is why I didn't want to gamble there. But I think it was probably a gamble we needed to take in this game, to be honest. Rock Slide's probably coming out. I definitely don't want to switch here. Not sure if we can survive with Rock Slide. Because I kind of want to just... If we can knock out Terrakion here and Heatran stays asleep, it's huge. So I'm going to Glide and Gleam. Oh, great switch. That's Rillaboom coming in, isn't it? Oh, that was such a good play. That was really, really well done on his end. Really well done. I do have Acrobatics, so that maybe comes up for us. Ah, but Heatran wakes up too. Okay. Yeah, we needed like a multi-turn sleep in this game, I think, to have a chance. That will probably seal it. Yeah, it's going to be really tough to win now. I still have Pheromosa in the back, so I guess I bring that out. Good damage on the Rillaboom. Yeah. It's just, if Heatran didn't have the defense boost, I actually think Pheromosa would, like, cleanly sweep this endgame. But, obviously, it has the defense boosts. We needed at least, like, a 2-turn sleep in this one, I think. But maybe even a 3-turn one. I could have gone Acrobatics until a Rillaboom slot there. But, I think Heatran outspeeds us anyway. Yeah, because Tailwind is up. Wait, how fast is the Mamoswine relative to Rillaboom? I could still win the game with Pheromosa. So, I think I bring out Mamo here. I bring out Mamo. I double Protect. Yeah, I needed to switch out the Togekiss to turn Terrakion Protected. I think I needed to go into Pheromosa that turn. Although I guess I would have lost anyway since Heatran had a 1-turn wake, but that would have given me a better odds at winning. So... yeah, I think I can at least double protect this next turn. But I needed Gastrodon to beat the Heatran. And Rillaboom was just such a big problem for Gastrodon. Like, Togekiss Gastro could have been a really nice lead, actually, though. Because I could just Dynamax Gastrodon turn 1. Okay, Glide. He could also still miss Heat Wave. That also could be an out here. He'll stops. Like, I have the Ice Shard into Rillaboom for a KO here. I'm faster than the Heatran, which is good to know, but I'm confident it has Shook Berry. Be shocked if it were anything else. So at least I can KO the Rillaboom with Ice Shard, but then I think I'm hoping for a miss. Or I could go for the double Protect. Regardless, because Heatran has the defense boosts, I'm not KOing it. I also wonder, I guess Terrakion shouldn't be Sash though, right? Oh no, Whimsicott Sash, so it definitely isn't Sash. So I can't one-shot with Pheromosa with close combat. If I get an attack boost off there, maybe I can still knock out Heatran. I'm down to go for the Yawn here, because I think if a Heat Wave miss actually wins us the game against Togekiss. And I'll Ice Shard Rillaboom, which might switch out into Terrakion. Okay, it doesn't switch out. I think this KOs with Life Orb. Okay, good. So if Heatran misses here, we're actually instantly back into it. Into either, actually. Ah, but it double connects. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in the end, I think I needed at least a 2-turn sleep or a miss. The odds of either happening aren't exactly terrible. Actually, it's still not over here. Because, like I said, I think Pheromosa could still win. Plus, we could create into Heatran, too. The only question is whether or not he predicts my Protect the subsequent turn, because I have Focus Sash, which at least allows me to survive a turn. But it was a great game. I think, like, he executed his game plan well. I like the idea of just Dynamaxing Heatran immediately. Obviously, my Mamoswine took a lot of damage. I could have just gone Follow Me Max Quake turn 1. I have to wonder whether or not my Togekiss could survive a Max Steel Spike, because if the answer to that is yes, I definitely should have gone Follow Me. Or Max Guard Terrakion Yawn turn 1, but... Sorry, Max Guard Mamoswine Yawn turn 1, but that's kind of risky. I'm going to go for Protect here. Hope his Terrakion protects. Close Combat Terrakion. Hope to get a Beast Boost, and then hope to either crit or just one-shot Heatran, but I don't think I KO because he has multiple defense boosts on that thing. So, maybe Gastrodon would have been the better answer here, but the thing is, Gastrodon doesn't have, like, a Rindo Berry, so it kind of falls off against opposing Rillabooms, right? That's part of the problem. Okay, he just went with Close Combat. And Flash Cannon, yeah. I mean, do you protect the Terrakion now? I guess. Maybe I could have gone for a... Oh, he doesn't protect, though. Is this... Yeah, it's not sashed. Okay, I mean, that gives us a Beast Boost. Surprised he didn't protect there, because I had just protected, but... I don't think Pheromosa one-shots Heatran anyway with the Close Combat, even with the Beast Boost. But we can still crit. Let's see. I mean, this is the end game I was hoping for, right? Should bring us down to our Sash. Yep. Heatran was only one stage of defense rather than two. And that's why the Steel Spike onto the Togekiss earlier was like a really safe and good play on his end, right? So, pretty sure Heatran hangs on with like 10-20%-ish here. That's my guess, but I also just haven't used Pheromosa very much, so... What a game. That was so close. That was so close. Good game, Alex. Oh, yeah, I thought Pheromosa maybe could have pulled it off there, but I was not confident in it. I wonder if that's a damage roll there in the end, or whether it was like a guaranteed survival. It was really, really close, but that was a great game either way, so I can't be too sad about it. Plus, like, we got the one-turn sleep on the Heatran, so I think if it's 2 or 3, because all we needed was one extra little bit of damage onto Heatran, right? So if you get one extra turn of sleep, I think things change drastically as well. Alright, getting into our next match of the day. This is interesting. My opponent is Glastrier, but they actually don't have Trick Room, so I'm guessing Glastrier is just like their Trick Room answer here. So tough, because Centiskorch is really good against Glastrier and Amoonguss, but for that reason, I think my opponent doesn't bring either. So maybe we use it as bait. Because I think Dynamax Gastrodon here actually makes a lot of sense. Right, I mean, the only thing that really threatens Gastrodon is actually the Amoonguss here, right? Pheromosa is valuable, but maybe more for the late game than the early game. I just want to bring Centiskorch, but from what I like playing with this team, the lesson I learned is that you really don't want to force it, and in this matchup, my opponent has the Rotom and the Nihilego, both which are not friendly towards Centiskorch at all. I have to respect Dragapult Urshifu as a potential lead. I like Togekiss and Pheromosa here, honestly. Yeah, I think Pheromosa on this team is actually a really big sleeper pick. I don't think we bring Rillaboom, so it's probably Gastrodon Mamoswine here. Mammals really valuable for Ice Shards. Gastrodon is probably our best Dynamax option once we figure out what my opponent's leading with here. But I like the idea of not Dynamaxing immediately, because Pheromosa actually puts on more offensive pressure than Dynamax Gastrodon in this matchup. So, yeah. The last game was crazy. It was super, super crazy. But it was a fun one. It was definitely a fun one. It's going to be Dragapult Amoonguss. Okay. I don't think I mind that too much, given this Focus Sash here on the Pheromosa. Here's the thing. I really want them to max their Dragapult. So this is a great opportunity to just go for a Yawn and a Triple Axle. I guess Centiskorch could have been decent against this specific lead. But I don't... Like, the problem with Centiskorch here is that, even if it works out in this lead matchup, even if I KO Amoonguss, for example, and I trade Amoonguss for, like, Togekiss, or even if I don't trade, like, let's say I just knock out Amoonguss, but I have Centiskorch out and I commit my Dynamax, as soon as I commit the Dynamax to Centiskorch, my opponent can just bring in Rotom-H and Nihilego. Both of those give me a lot of problems, especially if Togekiss isn't even on the field, and even if Togekiss is on the field, it's just going to get one-shot by a Thunderbolt or a Meteor Beam. That's part of the problem. So, yeah, I think, like, Centiskorch is really valuable against, like, slower teams, you know, like, think, like, Porygon 2, Glastrier, kind of, you know, that kind of setup. Okay, they go for Rage Powder. So I could have gone Dazzling Gleam here, but I don't mind getting a Yawn off into that slot. I think that's decent for us regardless. It's just going to be Phantasm. Into Togekiss, okay. I'll take that, honestly, because the longer Pheromosa conserves its Focus Sash, the better. But it makes sense there. Like, you never want to go for a Phantasm, or sorry, a Wormwind, because obviously Togekiss can redirect that. Triple Axle comes out. It's good damage. The Yawn here, I think, forces Amoonguss to switch out this next turn, which is fine. Question is whether or not I want to, like, protect the Togekiss, expecting a Phantasm again. Obviously, my opponent can Phantasm into a Pheromosa. I'm trying to protect. Nothing can switch into a close combat, so I think protect close combat is actually a great play for us here. Plus, I think it KOs Amoonguss from this range anyway. Yep, so there's a switch. Hoping to see Rotom-H or Nihilego. That's Rotom. That's good. And if they did Phantasm into Togekiss, I think we're actually in pretty good shape going into the rest of the turns here. Nice. Okay, do we survive that actually? Okay, we do. Good. Alright, so this has played out exactly how I've wanted it to so far, which is good. In fact, there is a chance we position ourselves to Dynamax Pheromosa in this endgame. It's a slim one, but it's definitely a possibility. Great damage there. Not enough for a KO, unfortunately, but I'll take it. Okay. We have Gastrodon in the back. It's obviously pretty good. Amoonguss is already taken. I mean, it's going to have Regenerator, so it's going to heal back, but it's taking some good damage. I'm kind of content to just go for a Follow Me in a close combat here. Yeah. If you have max Airstream, you could go for that. I wonder if Rotom actually has enough speed EVs to outspeed the Pheromosa here. But if you don't have Airstream, I mean, normally you have Airstream. I'd be shocked if it didn't. But if you don't, we're in really good shape. Yeah, there's the Airstream, though. I did not... Oh, I could have switched Pheromosa into Gastrodon, actually. But by going for close combat here, I cover for the... If they, like, Nasty Plot, for example, that could actually get really bad for us, right? So, I don't mind being brought down to my Sash if I knock out Rotom-H. I think that's actually a decent trade for us. Oh, and we're still faster. Okay, yeah, that's the other thing I was saying. Pheromosa, it can be such a good Pokemon, especially with Togekiss support. So, I initially, was highlighting the Centiskorch on this team while I was talking about it, but Pheromosa is actually a very good carry on it as well. In fact, like I said, maybe we just Dynamax it now. I don't know. It's definitely a possibility. We know they have Amoonguss in the back. I'm down to bring out Mamoswine first. I think we're actually in a really good spot now because they never broke our Focus Sash, which is so helpful. Yeah, I think we're in really good shape now, especially because they bring the Amoonguss back in. So, I think I'm content to just triple Axle. I wonder if Life Orb Ice Shard actually KOs Amoonguss from that range. Because obviously, like an Ice Skull Crash and triple Axle here. I don't know if that was actually a great play because it's a good play if my attacks hit, but triple Axle, checks accuracy after each hit. So I actually like reversing that. I think triple Axle into Dragapult, Ice Skull Crash into Amoonguss is better. Yeah, that's definitely the better play. Because Ice Skull Crash will one-shot either Pokemon from this range, so why risk missing potential triple Axles onto the Amoonguss slot? Good fly too, yeah. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Because a miss here would be huge, right? Okay. Yeah, that was actually a really bad play on my end. Fortunately, we hit twice, so... It's obviously, like, only slightly slimmer accuracy, but that's kind of what makes the difference in games like this, right? The margin error is kind of slim, and you always want to find your absolute best play, and there's no reason to really not flip it around there. Now, if Amoonguss, like, were at full HP, then triple Axle into it makes more sense, because I can cover for the Focus Sash option. But, it's obviously not really something I have to worry about in this game. We should be good here, though, at this point, I would think. They bring out Nihilego. I mean, I'm sure you protect Nihilego here. I don't even think I Dynamax this turn, right? You just Ice Skull Crash into Dragapult in close combat. You can't pick up a double KO, and Dynamax Gastron should win this game for us. So Pheromosa was the carry here. I think being able to do so much damage turn 1, my opponent not threatening me on turn 1 with damage was really good. Onto the not going for like the target onto Pheromosa was huge. So Fly comes out, but yeah, the Focus Sash here is so valuable. Okay, even if we don't... I wonder if Life Orb Bisharp can actually just KO Dragapult from that range. Let's see. If we Ice Skull Crash, this is stuff. If it hits, it's definitely game over, and it does hit. Yeah, like, see, that last turn was a good example of how, like, Pokemon is a game where you can always optimize your play and you always want to play the best play possible. And sometimes you can play a suboptimal play and you'll get away with it. But over the course, especially when you're laddering or playing a tournament, you want to consistently make the best play possible, right? The more often you do that, you'll basically make it easier for yourself. And, you know, every little bit of RNG can add up, right? So every little percentage point, like always just trying to find the highest probability percent play. I did not do that. And so fortunately we didn't get punished, but with the lead that we had built in this game, it was kind of inexcusable to lose, to be honest. Now, granted, we still could have missed Icicle Crash, but like it's 90% versus what? Triple Axel is 90 for each hit, so 81% to hit 2 in a row. That's a 9% difference, you know, it can really make a difference. So yeah, we ended up winning, didn't end up Dynamaxing this game, which was kind of cool. But yeah, definitely could have played a little bit smarter there. Main thing though was Togekiss was a perfect partner for the Pheromosa, and it's really hard to switch into a same type attack boosted Pheromosa with the close combat. So that's what we were able to do, cover the Amoonguss switch out, and Pheromosa, being as fast as it is, was able to still outspeed the Rotom-H and get that close combat off on the... and, like, that was huge, right? Because it meant we conserve our Focus Sash, and then there was only one turn of Dynamax left at that point. Oh, sorry, and that was the last turn of Dynamax, right? So, as soon as that happens, I knew I had a Dynamax to play with. Gastron was primarily going to be the carry coming into this, but Pheromosa just put in so much work we didn't even need it in the end, which was kind of neat. So, yeah. Let's get into the third match today. Alright, getting into our next match of the day. Oh, this is so weird, because like I really actually think this is not a bad game for Centiskorch, but there is that Zapdos, and that makes it slightly more awkward. Maybe we can still bring it, though. Even leading it here is interesting to trap things in. I feel like Mamoswine's really good. I kind of need Rillaboom for the Fini, but then I only have one left. And I like all my Pokemon here. And that's always a good problem to have, but it's always like tough because like you can really kick yourself for not bringing the right ones. Maybe Togekiss isn't it here, right? Because they do have Fini, so Yawns are actually way less valuable. Togekiss helps against the Zapdos, though. Like, I'm thinking it's a Togekiss Centiskorch lead. Pheromosa and Rillaboom in the back. I want Mamoswine, but I don't know how good it really is here. Alright, let's try these. I don't know, I mean, Centiskorch can get the trap early on, which is nice. It can... Pheromosa does a lot of damage across the board here. The main reason for Togekiss is because if I don't have Togekiss and I'm bringing Centiskorch out, it's really Zapdos weak. I don't know if my opponent plays towards the Zapdos route. Yeah, they do. Okay. But this is where Yawn is really valuable for us, right? Yeah. Okay, how do I want to play this turn 1? If you're my opponent, it's pretty free to fake out Max Airstream turn 1, right? Togekiss is really valuable here. I don't really have a switch into Max Airstream, which is probably the downside. I could play a little bit greedy and just G-Max Centifernal. Alternatively, I can Max Guard. I'm actually thinking of just going for a Centifernal, to be honest. And a Yawn. Maybe that's too greedy. I think that's probably too greedy. But if I Max Guard and I call it incorrectly, maybe it's fine. Like, maybe it's just Max Guard Protector 1. That's probably the smarter play, because I don't think you ever Airstream... You never have to Airstream into Togekiss here. I mean, Sentifernal's nice, right? It traps in Zapdos, and then I can Max Guard the next turn, and maybe even Dazzling Gleam. No, I don't think it'll do enough damage for a KO, though. So, yeah, I think the better play is actually to just Max Guard turn 1 here, because I think we have better late-game offense relative to my opponent. And Max Airstream, I don't think KOs us, but it's just going to do so much damage where I don't think it's worth. So, yeah, I don't think that was the smartest play on turn 1. This is also where Mamoswine in the back actually maybe could have been helpful. Yeah, there's Fake Out. And Airstream. Yeah, I mean, we survived, but that doesn't feel worth it to me. I think Max Guard was actually the play there. Okay. Drop him in, but the trap isn't really that valuable right now. It's pretty good damage on the Zapdos. I mean, I was hoping for 50% at least. Is it 50 with the Wildfire? Not the Wildfire, it's Sentifernal. Not exactly. The Max Guard here is kind of obvious. I might still just go for it, though. Because I don't know if you can even knock out the Togekiss in this position, even if you double up into it. So I'll Max Guard Dazzle here. Yeah, I think Max Guard Protect's probably just better there. Because even if you, like, double up into Zapdos, the worst case, I guess, is if Togekiss is you, like, Max Knuckle turn 1. Okay. Maybe Flare Blitz actually KOs us here? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, they Flare Blitz into Centiskorch. Yeah, that makes sense. I can protect on this last turn with the Togekiss. Probably just Airstream Blitz again. And this is just going to be so fast, but I don't even know if it outspeeds at Pheromosa at like +3. Okay. Yeah, I guess I go for Sentifernal into Zapdos here and protect. Because, in the end, I only got 2 attacks off with the Centiskorch really, right? So that's why Max Guard turn 1 was a better play for me. Yeah, so there's Airstream into Centiskorch, that's fine. Dynamax is over now. I have Grassy Seed, Rillaboom, Incineroar in there and is still bound, and I have Pheromosa in the back. So I have Rillaboom, Pheromosa as my end game, basically, that I'm playing towards. How good is that for us? It's definitely not bad. Centiskorch was okay here, but my opponent probably led the best combination to just beat it immediately, like any other Pokemon, and I think Centiskorch would have had a much easier time playing through this. I also wonder if Acrobatics can knock out Incineroar here. Probably after one more turn of burn damage. Or fire spin damage, I should say. I feel like Pheromosa should outspeed Incineroar, even though Incineroar has 3 speed boosts, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I can also fake out the... I mean, I could just glide into Zapdos here, obviously. Wait, are they still bound, actually? Oh, they are. I mean, don't they just faint from being bound? Well, that means Zapdos is always attacking here, right? So I guess I'll just glide into it and go for a Follow Me here. Because I don't want Rillaboom to take any damage. Then I wonder if Grassy Glide can KO Incineroar next turn without an Intimidate after they take more residual. I should have Max Guarded turn 1. At the moment, I was just afraid that they would read into the Max Guard Protect and they just target Togekiss, but the extra damage against Togekiss is kind of negligible. I guess if I protect turn 1, they can double up on a Togekiss turn 2, but if I'm protecting, I also don't even take that Fake Out damage, right? So... Okay, so we knock out Zapdos here. Let's see. I mean, Instant probably Flare. I guess you could Parting Shot here, actually. They do go for Blitz. See if that KOs us. Okay, it does. 2v3. Both of our Dynamaxes are over. We have Rillaboom and a defense boost on that, which is valuable. Does Berry activate here? Probably. Yeah. That's not good either. It doesn't make that much of a difference, I suppose, because I'm basically hoping for my Pheromosa to outspeed it and KO it in one hit, and then try to chain Beast Boosts off in this late game. Pheromosa really ended up being the main Pokemon we played around in today's episode. Way more than Centiskorch, and that was more than I expected it to. But it's a really, really good Pokemon, especially if you can actually get those Beast Boosts off. Oh, they bring in Porygon, actually. Okay. That makes me think they have Glastrier in the back, so I think I actually have to knock out Porygon here. My only fear... I'm just worried about close combat not one-shotting. But I think we go Acrobatics close combat into Porygon. That also... The only way my opponent gets around this is if they have Ally Switch. Or sorry, if they have Protect. If you Ally Switch, actually, I just KO Instant anyway. But I think because Porygon 2 came out first here, I have to KO it. Because if Trick Room goes up and Glastrier is my opponent's last one, I lose. But if I knock out Porygon here, and Pheromosa is indeed faster than the Incineroar, despite it being at +3 speed, I think we actually win the game here. Oh no, it's really close. Okay, yeah, we do outspeed still, so that's good to know. Nice! We one-shot Porygon. Okay, great. Ooh, that was a crit. I know it could be a roll. That's why I doubled up onto that slot for what it's worth, so yeah. But obviously that's a big deal. I'm sure it's Blitz going into the Pheromosa here, but then I think the Acrobatics just KOs the Incineroar. I do want to do the damage calc after, because I've had practice games in which close combat just one-shot a Porygon too, so I don't know what the damage roll is, really. Okay, no burn, which is good. And this is the value of Acrobatics, actually. It not only does it help out against Grass types, but it's actually really good against Rillaboom, or Incineroar, specifically for a scenario like this. So yeah, I mean, Pheromosa was actually the hard carry for us today. Centiskorch wasn't bad for us here. I kind of misplayed the early game, and that's what I said, right? Flying types are not ideal for it. Yeah, my opponent's last one was Glastrier. Yeah, I mean, if the crit mattered there... I think actually Instant takes so much recoil where I win the game anyway. Next turn off Grassy Glide onto the Incineroar close combat into Glastrier. So I think we probably had this game won anyway. But maybe there's a chance it actually would have survived Glide even after the recoil. I don't know. But now we can obviously just double up onto Glastrier. So we definitely got a little bit fortunate for sure. Pheromosa was great though, so I'm happy you put in a good performance for us here. So let's see what the damage calc is. Pheromosa. I think it's a roll on Porygon. There's no way it's a guaranteed KO, right? That would be kind of surprising to me. Yeah, and I think it really comes down to how much like defense investment you have. If you have none, for example, oh, we can actually check their team. Let's see. They had a fair amount, so we definitely got lucky with that crit. That being said, like I think we actually are probably still in a good position to win the game, unless the combination of close combat and Acrobatics fails to pick up the KO, which I guess is a slight possibility because they were almost max defense Porygon. So that was a really lucky roll for us, or sorry, a lucky crit for us. Yeah, because I'm definitely not guaranteed the KO even with the close combat Acrobatics double up, I think. So that's pretty scary then. Glide plus close combat, I think, is a guaranteed knockout on a Porygon. The reason I went for Acrobatics was because it covers for me one-shotting Porygon, then the Acrobatics gets redirected onto the Incineroar. But yeah, because they were almost max HP, max defense on the Porygon, we definitely got a little bit lucky. However, because we had Focus Sash, what that game boils down to is whether or not, I think, because I get the, I guess I wouldn't get the Beast Boost. That's the other part of the equation, but I don't know if that makes that much of a difference because close combat into Glastrier, let's see how much damage that does. Glastrier, max HP. Still a ton of damage. Like, Glide plus close combat's a guaranteed KO onto Glastrier. So basically how I'm thinking about this endgame is, let's say we don't get that crit. I think we should knock out the Porygon 2 most of the time with close combat and Acrobatics. However, it's defensive enough where maybe you can survive that. Glide plus close combat would have been a guaranteed KO onto Porygon, and that actually may have just been the better play in the end, because we had the Focus Sash on the Pheromosa. But okay, so let's say Acrobatics close combat. If Porygon faints that turn, and you Flare Blitz if you Flare Blitz Rillaboom, we should survive because of the defense boost anyway. Rillaboom was at around what, like 50%ish. I think it would have been in KO range from a Grassy Glide. Let's see what the calc is. Rillaboom against Incineroar. Glide, Grassy Terrain. Yeah, I mean, just 22 to 27%. So it would have been close, but I think Instant just takes so much recoil there. Plus, it's still bound, right? So that with all that chip damage, I think... I did need to Glide, right? I can't Acrobatics Instant if the next turn if it survives because it outspeeds me because of all the speed boosts. So, yeah. I don't know. It would have been really close. But... Like I said, what I was thinking was that the Incineroar would have been in KO range from a Grassy. Maybe not, though, actually, because it was above 25% after the turn. So, yeah. I don't know. I think we definitely got lucky with that crit. My main play that I could have done better in this game was Max Guarding turn 1 with the Pheromosa. Sorry, with the Centiskorch. I think that definitely would have given us a slight advantage. We brought the right Pokemon here in the end, it feels like, but I don't know. And that's the thing with Centiskorch, like, a single flying type Pokemon makes it that much tougher, because if, like, Zapdos isn't on that team for my opponent, this is a pretty chill match for us, I'd say, because Centiskorch alone just has so much value. Citrus Combine, Fini, AV, Glastrier. Yeah, max HP, max attack. Scarf Zapdos, wow! They were Choice Scarf and they Dynamaxed it, that's interesting. It makes sense though, right, because this is really your best answer against Centiskorch. Huh, that's really cool. Taunt on the Incineroar. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Like, we didn't take... I don't remember if they were going to have one more chip of the Fire Spin. Because I think that's actually what makes the difference there in the end. I also don't know exactly how defensive they were. But, yeah, I think there's actually a decent chance Rillaboom maybe could have survived a Grassy Glide the subsequent turn. Then I guess what I have to do would be protect Rillaboom, but then close combat doesn't one-shot Glastrier, so I'd basically have to hope to one-hit KO the Instant. Oh, wait, sorry. In all of that analysis, I know I've been rambling for a bunch, but this is just how I go over matches. In all of that analysis, I didn't even consider the fact that Pheromosa actually still outspeeds the Incineroar the subsequent turn. So, like, what I could do is actually just double up onto the Glastrier slot with close combat and Glide. Then I have to make the judgment, do I think you're Assault Vest, do I think you're Choice... do I think you're Life Orb, or like, do you have Protect, basically? And I don't know what I would have done in that position. I would have basically gauged it off whether... If I didn't think Glide would KO Incineroar, I would double up onto the Glastrier slot. If I thought Glide would KO, then I would just Glide in close combat. So, yeah. Pheromosa, I guess, being faster there maybe makes a difference there in the end as well. But us getting a crit basically just sealed up the game instantly. So, very fortunate there. Either way, that's going to be it for our time with this team. Really fun games, honestly, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, this game was crazy, the first game was super crazy. Hopefully we can bring out Centiskorch more in the next episode, but Pheromosa was amazing for us today, so glad to at least put in some work with that one. So, thanks as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you to Sejun for the team, and I'll catch you all next time. Alright, peace.